Hey everyone, how's it going? My name's Jordan and welcome to JC's Anime Reviews. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about Inuyasha. Now, before we begin the video, I just want to let you know that there's going to be some spoilers, because some of the characters that I'm going to be talking about aren't introduced until like 10 to 15 episodes into the show. So if you don't want to know anything, I'll put a timestamp in the description, and if you click that, it'll take you to the end of the video where I give my grade and just overall what I thought of it. So yeah. Just do that if you don't want to know anything about it. And with all that said, let's get right into the video. So, Inuyasha is about a girl named Kagome, who one day, she wanders into this, like, shrine where a well is to try to look for her cat, and a demon pops out of it and pulls her into the shrine, or the well, and it takes her 300 years into the past, where she meets a half-demon, half-human named Inuyasha, who's looking for something called the Shikon Jewel. And the Shikon Jewel can grant whoever has it immense power, and he's looking for it so he can become a full demon and not just a half demon, and so he can be completely demon. So they set off looking for the Shikon Jewel, and along the way they meet a few friends. They meet like 4 or 5 different people. They meet a fox demon named Shippo, a monk named Miroku, a demon slayer named Sango, and she has like this cat demon thing that can transform into like a saber-toothed tiger named Kirara, which is a demon, and they end up becoming friends, and all of them go traveling around looking for this jewel. Inuyasha's pretty good. I actually really liked it. There were a few things that bothered me though, and when you really start to think about the show, you can find a lot of issues with it, but I still enjoyed it. All the characters are very likable. And I think that's what really makes the show so good, is all the characters. Without these characters, without the characters being so good, the show wouldn't be that good. Because, I mean, the story is not that great. It's okay, but just the characters are so good. And I think these older animes do a really good job with the characters. Like Dragon Ball Z, for example, or Yu Yu Hakusho. The story might not necessarily be the best, but I really like the characters. So I feel like Inuyasha does a really good job at that. And I really like that. One of my favorite characters that's introduced is Inuyasha's brother, named Sesshomaru, who's a full demon, and he hates Inuyasha because Inuyasha is half demon and half human, and he doesn't like humans. And also, their father left Inuyasha with this really powerful sword, and he feels like he should have gotten the sword because he's a full demon and Inuyasha shouldn't have gotten it. So that character's really good, Sesshomaru. The arc for him throughout the show is really interesting to see where he ends up in the end. So I really like him. He comes back throughout the show kind of and fights with Inuyasha, but I really like him. He reminds me of like Vegeta, sort of, where at first he's kind of a dick, and then you kind of start to like him a little bit more. I like all the characters that Inuyasha travels with. I think in particular with all the characters he travels with, my favorite might be Miroku, who's the monk. And he has something called a wind tunnel, which is basically a big hole in his hand that can suck up whatever gets near it. So he uses that to suck up demons. And I kind of wish they explained a little bit more about this. They explain how he got it, but they don't really explain where the demons go. It's just this big hole that sucks them somewhere, and he has no idea where it sucks them into. But I think it's somehow connected to his body, because at one point he'll suck up poison, and it ends up damaging him. So it's a little confusing. I kind of wish they explained that a little bit more. And the way he got the wind tunnel was his grandfather was cursed by a demon named Naruku, which made it so he had made this hole in his hand, and if he ever had any kids or anyone or his descendants would keep getting this hole or this wind tunnel until they ended up defeating him. And the wind tunnel does this thing where if eventually it will suck everything around it into it, so it sucks the person inside of it and kills them. So he's trying to defeat this demon before it destroys him. And the demon who cursed his grandfather, Naruku, ends up becoming the main antagonist. And he basically does something to like piss off every single main character. So they're all trying to kill him, and he's trying to collect this Shikon Jewel as well and become a lot more powerful. So they're trying to stop him and collect this jewel as well. So yeah, I think Naruto as a villain, I think he's pretty good. He doesn't have a lot of character development, but I really liked him. He's just like the big bad guy, and he's pretty strong, so I really liked him. I also like the demon slayer Sango. She's pretty cool. She has this it's like a big boomerang. I don't remember the name of it, that she throws at demons that destroys them, and then she rides on this cat thing that can fly. Kirara is its name, and I like them. Shippo is one of the characters they travel with. He is kind of useless, but I liked him because he's just a little kid. He's not a very strong demon yet. And Inuyasha, I enjoyed him I enjoyed just anytime he was on screen because he's very awesome. He's very much like, he's very hot-headed and sometimes is kind of a dick, but his arc and him changing throughout the show was definitely interesting to see. I really enjoyed that. And the other main character, Kagome, this girl who got transported, I think she's not annoying. I think she's a very good character, and her arc and all their arcs throughout the show are actually pretty good. So I like that, getting to see where they start off and where they end up. And yeah, so Inuyasha overall, it's pretty good. Some of the issues that I had though are that the Shikon jewel that they're looking for eventually gets a little confusing when they try to explain its powers and stuff like that. That gets really confusing, and maybe I need to rewatch it because it didn't really make sense when I was watching it, some of the stuff they said about it. And also there's a lot of filler episodes. Like I think one of the seasons, like season 4 or 5, is all filler episodes. So that kind of sucks, but what I will say about the filler episodes is that while they are kind of annoying, the characters make them entertaining. So yeah, just filler episodes suck, but the characters are good, so it's not so bad. So yeah, that's definitely good. Also, one of the things that did bother me is Inuyasha is split into like 2 shows. Well, it's more like a final season. So there's Inuyasha, which is 7 seasons long, 100-something episodes. Then there's Inuyasha, the final chapter, which is like 20-something episodes. And from what I understand, it didn't come out until like a few years after Inuyasha. I don't know what happened or why they stopped, and then it took a while to come out with this like final season or whatever. But that, when they transition from Inuyasha and then you go and watch that the Inuyasha, the final chapter, it feels a little rushed. It feels weird binge watching, and I feel like if you waited that long, it might not feel as weird, but once you get into that season, everything just feels like it starts being rushed and they're trying to finish the anime pretty fast. Which, I mean, that's okay. It kind of bothered me, but also, and in the final chapter, it gets very repetitive, some of the stuff that happens. Some stuff happens with Inuyasha and the sword that he has, and that got really repetitive, so that kind of bothered me. But overall, it's a good show. I enjoyed it. The characters are good. Story's not great, and the jewel gets confusing and stuff like that. But I think I had a good time watching it. I enjoyed it. If you like fantasy anime or isekai, which is where it's the genre of anime where someone gets transported to another world, I think this is pretty good. This one's probably one of the better ones. So yeah. So I'm gonna give Inuyasha a B. So overall, pretty good. So go check it out if you want to, or if you are interested. It's all on Hulu. That's where I watched it. They have the full Inuyasha and then Inuyasha the final chapter. So go check that out on there. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm gonna try to be doing 2 videos a week. So should be one later this week. Probably on Saturday. One of the anime there's an anime that's finishing then, I think, and I'm gonna try to get that out. So yeah, try to do 2 every week. And in April, there's a few shows starting, and some of them are like either like the second season of a show, so I'll probably be reviewing the first season of those shows, and others are like ongoing, so I might wait a little bit. Like Sword Art Online, for example, the final season is coming out. I might wait for that to end, then do a full review of this show. So yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. And don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps support these videos, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.